Hi, welcome back to Mr. C's e-bike, and today finally gonna get to ride the Swagtron EB-8. This is the bike that was bought for my grandson, and I did the walk around video of it, and he rode it around for a while, and before I got a chance to take it out for a test ride, it started falling apart on him. The disc brakes, the rotor fell off the back and was halfway off the front. His shifter stopped shifting. It got all gummed up. His handlebars kept moving on him. Sent it back to the factory, and they said they'd have it back in about 3 weeks, and they made good on the time. I'm not really sure what they did other than put the stuff back on, but now I get to go for a test ride anyway. And I am a little big for the bike. It says it's good for riders from 4'10" to 5'10", so I'm about 4 inches too tall. But it says the weight limit is, I think it's 264. So I'm 20 something pounds under that. But the plastic folding pedals that are on this thing don't feel like they'll hold my weight. If I stand up on them, they feel like they're just going to bend and break. So I'm probably going to change my seat out. And if you want to know more information on it, I'm going to leave a link down below. And you can also go back to my walk around video on this bike, where I give all the information on it. And this is going to hopefully be the first time that I'm going to be doing a test ride with my new helmet cam. I'm actually waiting for it to come in the mail right now. And I hope it comes soon because it's getting hot. And I want to get riding where there's a little bit of wind. So hopefully the mail is going to be here in a minute. And I'll get my helmet cam all ready and we'll go for a ride. Alright, the mail was so late, I decided to wait till the next day. And this is the setup we're going with now. This is my new helmet, my new mount, and my old camera. I put my new camera on here that I've been recording with, but it's so big, I'd put my helmet on, and it would keep trying to slouch or slide down my head. So hopefully my old busted up camera is going to do a decent job. And after I make this video, if it does do a decent job, this is what I'm going to be recording with, other than the chest mount. Just like I said, I'd have it on my chest, and once the riding got rough, all you guys could see was my handlebars. So hopefully with this, you'll be able to see where I'm going. All right, let's get out there and ride. All right, we're finally out on the Swagtron EB-8, and I've had problems with my camera, problems with my mount, but that doesn't reflect on the bike, so we won't get into that too much. I can't use my microphone with my old camera for some reason. I'll have to figure that out later, or maybe get a different cheap camera. But I'm on throttle only, and it moves my grandson right along at like 21 miles an hour. Me, it's having a little bit of trouble getting up there, but it says it only gets up to 18 miles an hour. Well, 18.5 miles an hour. I'm not going to be going through a bunch of deep sand because this isn't all-wheel drive. It's a fat tire bike, which is a lot better in the sand than a street bike or mountain bike tires. And one weird thing with this bike is it has pedal assist, but it doesn't have like pedal assist 1, 2, and 3. It just is on or it's not. So and it's not a torque sensor. And if you just keep pedaling, you're just going to reach top speed. and it's a cadence sensor. So it's, like I said, all you got to do is move your feet, and eventually you'll be going top speed. Which I believe is slower than the throttle top speed. Because right now I'm pedaling, and I'm only getting 14, 15 miles an hour. But if I put the throttle, it starts going up. Not quick, but it's got a decent amount of torque on it. Like I said, this isn't a bad bike. It's not a high power or a high speed bike. But it's moving me right along, 21 miles an hour. And on their website it says it goes 18.5 miles an hour, so. It also says it'll go 20 miles on one charge. And I know that my grandson has done at least 20 miles on one charge. So you can at least trust their numbers on their website. And their customer service seems to be okay. Because like I said, we got the bike, it fell apart, sent it back. They said 3 weeks, we got it back in 3 weeks. Now I'm going up the hill on throttle only, and it's doing fine. Yeesh. I think this little motor's got a little more to give than it's putting out. It almost got me up to top speed on flat ground on that little bit of hill. But going up this average hill, I mean, it's an overpass, and that's what kind of hills most of us are going to go up. Yeah, it did fine. I didn't pedal at all. I'm not sure with the gearing on this bike I would have been able to help anyway. And the suspension's actually doing a really good job. I started out on this ride thinking $900 for this bike, that's way too much. I'm starting to think it might be almost worth it. Maybe not quite $900, but it's doing better than I thought it would. Figured with my weight, I'd be hitting 17 miles an hour, and it would need a lot of help getting up that hill. The suspension would be less than mediocre. I mean, it's not expensive suspension on it, it's not good brakes on it, but everything seems to be working fine. Like I said, I can't use my microphone with this camera, so I don't even know how much you're hearing. Gee, this suspension is doing really well. I'm not feeling hardly any of these bumps. And I know they're there because I've hit them with the H8. And the H8 is hitting a lot harder than this is. I'm already starting to lose a lot of battery. Or at least a lot of power from it. But with this wind, it's hard to tell because the wind slows you down so much. See, it was the wind slowing me down. Gotta watch it coming through those intersections. Nobody has a stop sign. We're in the middle of a heat wave and it's 100 and something, over 110 degrees right now. Which, as long as you're on the bike, it's not too bad. You got the breeze, it's dry air. Stop here for a minute. All right. It's the EB-8 Swagtron fat tire bike. If you want more details on it, you can go and watch my walkthrough video where I went through all the specs on the bike. And this seat isn't the seat that came on it, but if I feel like I'm gonna break those folding pedals off if I stand up, and there was no way I was gonna ride around not being able to stand up on the little seat that come on the bike. And now it's starting to get warm because I'm not moving. Well, this bike actually impressed me. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's worth the $900, but it's definitely worth more than the $500 I thought it was worth when I started riding it. For a 350 watt rear motor, this thing's got quite a bit of torque. I mean, it's not a speed demon, but it's not slow either. It does well on the trails because the suspension is good, better than it looks. I mean, it's hey, there's somebody else. I don't know if they're on a dirt bike or an electric bike. They are a dirt bike, I think. I can't hear it. Oh, let's see how well it does throttle only going back up this hill. I think this way it's a little bit more drawn out. And I really hope you guys can hear me without my mic. It's 21 miles an hour. On a bike that the top speed is 18.5 with a rider that's 50 something pounds lighter than me. So they actually put that on their website. It said based on a rider weight of 170 pounds. .21 miles an hour. My top speed was 22, which was most likely coming down the hill. Now we're starting to slow down. 19 miles an hour. That's not bad. 17 miles an hour. Yeah, I think if you gave this motor a few more amps from the controller, this would be, oh, probably a 30-mile-an-hour bike. Without stressing the motor too much. Still just holding steady at 21 miles an hour. And now I'm heading into the wind, so I'm probably not going to pick up much speed. This looks like a good spot to stop and give my final thoughts, or at least you guys will be able to hear me over the wind. Alright, I'll just keep my helmet right on. Well, the Swagtron EB-8, I believe it's called the Outlaw, and I expected to start this ride and tell you how it was way overpriced. And don't buy it unless they come down like $400, but it might be worth the $900. I mean, the motor is torquey. It outperforms what they say it'll do. I mean, the parts are cheap, but the performance is there, and the customer service is there. It did better than I thought, and I gotta tell you guys, no matter what link you use or what you do, I make no money off of you buying this bike, so I'm not pumping up to try to sell it to you, but it may still be like $100 overpriced, but it's probably better than the bikes you're gonna get that look like it for $500. So if you need a e-bike and you got $1,000 in your pocket, this might be a good bike for you. I mean, it doesn't have a whole lot of range, but it's up to you how far you got to go. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, and thank you.